Hey everybody, so you've seen me install the blind spot detection warning strip in the Model Y before. And guess what? We now have it for the Cybertruck, which is really exciting because when we actually have a vehicle in our blind spot, all we have is this little red dot that's in the speakers. You know what? It's really difficult to see that little red dot out the corner of your eye. So if you could have something a little bit more substantial, that would be great. And from our friends over at Hanshow, they've brought us the blind spot detection LED warning strip, which does exactly that. What happens is when somebody comes into your blind spot, part of the strip actually turns amber, and when you put on your turn signal, it will actually turn red, letting you know that there's an actual vehicle in your blind spot. This is highly functional, increases the safety of the vehicle, and well, let's face it, it actually helps the ambiance of the truck because not only does it give you the warning signals, but it has this nice LED strip attached to it, which goes along with the colors that you have set to your accent lights. Now, if you followed along with my other videos, you know that I have adapted the Model Y LED strips, which actually went on the roof of my Cybertruck, which looks really nice, and it complements the vehicle really nicely. And so I highly recommend getting these, not only for just how they look, but for the amount of safety it actually adds to the vehicle. I can't tell you how great it is. And in fact, I've put it in all of my vehicles thus far, and I don't know what it's like to drive without it. Highly recommend it. So don't forget to look in the description below to see how you can get a great discount on this particular product, other Tesla accessories. Like and subscribe, and we see you back in just a moment. Hey everybody, and welcome back. So I'm getting ready to install the Hansshow BSD LED light strip into the Cybertruck, and you want to start off here at the passenger side door, because what you're going to do, you're going to wind up taking this trim off, and what we're going to do, we're going to go pull this panel off to eventually come down here. We're going to pull the entire bottom part of the trim panel off just to access some things down there. And we're going to run a wire across the bottom part of the dash. It's actually really not as difficult as it looks. This is actually really simple. So just follow along with me and you'll be all right. So first thing we want to do is pull our trim off, which is right here. There we go. And you want to take it all the way off down here, because we're going to need to access this whole panel to here. All right. Next thing we want to do, we're going to take this panel off right here. It actually just pops right on out. Use our trim tool, boom, boom, and it's just a couple clips. And it's going to come out of there. There we go. Okay, next, you want to be able to pull this panel up and out. So we're going to pull it up just like this. You know what? I'm going to pull my floor mat out of here because it's in the way, truth be told. So we're just going to pull that out. All right, the next thing you want to do, you want to be able to pull this whole thing out. It just comes off just like this. And there's some clips down here. It's going to pop up just like that. Yeah, that thing was just tight. Wow. Okay, we're just going to set this aside for now. All right, so what we have here is a wiring bundle that we're going to need to access. And it's all wrapped up in electrical tape, and I'm going to wind up cutting a bit of it off later on. And we're going to access a couple of the wires in here, specifically a purple and white one and a purple wire that we're going to need to take off of here. All right, so when you get down in here, there's a locking clip that's here. It's right here. And what you want to do, you want to put your trim tool in there or whatever you can, and you got to unlock it first before you can take this out. So you unlock it by putting it right down there into the notch. That's it, unlocking, and then you can continue pulling it out. That's how the locking clip works. I pulled it out a little too far, but that'll be all right. There it is. So we're gonna set that aside for now. And now that we have that locking clip out of here, this whole thing can now come loose. Okay, so now that we got this panel down, we got to get down to this ODB port, or OBD port. I'm saying it all wrong, but that's okay. Unlike you guys, I probably have a few more accessories than the average person installed in the Cybertruck. So I've got quite a bit going on down here. So I already have a couple of pass-throughs,
But for you, this is going to be probably a blue plug that's going to be right here. Okay, so you go ahead and take this part out right here. It just slides straight out. There's no locking clamp on it of any sort. Pull that out. And now what you're going to do, you're going to put this pass-through in. Like I said, just ignore the fact that you see all these wires right here. You don't have that. It's just all the different things I've installed in here. I'm installing yet another pass-through. I probably have like 3 of these installed in here right now. Okay, so we got our stuff in the port down here at the bottom. Now we're going to come up and attach our power. Now, like I said before, I have a couple of accessories already in here, and this is one of those accessory cables. This is the OEM cable that was in the truck, and I put an accessory in here, a pass-through. So we're going to put yet another pass-through in here. So I'm going to take this out of here, and I'm going to plug it into our cable. There's a couple of grooves. It'll slide right in there just like that. It clicks in, and then you're going to plug the pass-through in to that port that you took it out of, just like this. And it's all going to wind up living in here eventually. We're not going to put it all together just yet, as we still have a little bit more wiring to do. So remember this wiring harness that we had when we initially pulled up the trim off of the passenger side door? Well, all these wires in here, you have multiple colored wires. However, there is one particular wire that is purple and white and is wrapped with another purple wire. There's no other wiring a pair like this in the bundle. So this is the only pair, and here it is right here. And this is the only one that we're interested in. What we're going to do, we're going to crimp some wires together, specifically the purple wire and the white wire that came in the kit. And we're going to crimp it with these red crimping things that they put in the pack, and you just slide it in. It's actually really simple to do, but you know, it's a truck that you don't really want to screw up, so you're actually really careful. This wiring harness only has one set of wires that has just a purple wire and a purple and white wire, and that's it. So this is the wire that we're talking about right here, and we're going to use this crimp in order to fasten the purple and the white wire from the kit to this. So what we're going to do, we're going to take the end of the purple wire and we're going to connect it to the other purple wire. The white wire that we have in the kit is going to attach to the purple and white wire. And so that's all we're going to do. So I've released the straps that were holding this wiring harness down, a few of them anyway, and I've taken off some of the electrical tape that they had on here. That's how I unraveled it a bit. And I've tried to unroll the wire as much as I can. And so here's what we're going to do. I got the purple wire right here, and I am going to put this right on top of it. I'm going to put the crimp in it like that. Make sure it goes all the way down. Okay, so I have the purple wire inside the crimp right here. And now I'm going to put the wire from the kit. I want to just feed that in through here, just a little bit, almost to the end, not all the way through. All we're going to do is fold this over, and it's going to lock them into place. All right, so now we're going to do the purple and white wire. Which is this one right here. Hopefully, with any amount of luck, that worked. All right. That's not going anywhere. I'm pretty confident that is in there. I'm hoping. It's hard to tell, but there's only one way to find out. Okay. Let's go to the other side. Okay, so now that we got the passenger side door done, we got to do the driver's side door. So the first thing we got to do over here is also take off the trim over here. So I'm going to take this trim off. There we go. Got that off. This one comes off just like the other side. And fortunately, we don't have to take this one all the way down, because what we want is right here. Just need to take it off just a little bit. There we go. I'm just gonna plug this in just to see if it works. Because if everything's hooked up correctly, then when I hook this up and hook it up to the light strip, everything should be working. Okay, once again, take this out, and then we're gonna plug it in to our pass-through here. Let's see how this goes, like that. And we plug it in like this. All right, now that's hooked up. Now in theory, a light strip should work, in theory. Let's go check it out. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and test our light strip, and we're gonna go ahead and plug it in and see what happens. Cross fingers. And we have light, so that's progress. Since everything's actually connected, it should work. Let me see if we can, let's see if this actually works. Okay. Wow. You can see the blind spot detector is actually working. I changed the color of the strip, changed the orange, changed the green, purple. Wow, so I guess the strip is actually working. That's amazing. I'm actually impressed. Turn it to blue. All right, so the hard part is done. So there we go, hard part is done. Now all we need to do is just take the strip, mount it, and seal all this stuff up, and then we'll be good to go. Wish me luck. Okay, so now that everything's connected, now all I have to do is take this wire and run it up underneath this panel here. So what you want to do in order to take this off, I usually grab it, you pull it, it's just going to unsnap. Just be careful not to break the snaps, and it's all going to come down just like that. And what you're going to do, you're going to take this wire, you're going to take the gray wire, and you're going to run it behind the panel here, such that you won't be able to see it. So I'm going to run it such that it goes right along this panel. And you know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to go ahead and put it back up as I go. Like that. Such that I can actually run it. All right, I got to go over there. Get this in here just like this. Put that in there. Tuck that away. I'm going to go ahead and start putting some of this back up. All right, so we're just gonna go ahead and put this wire away such that it won't interfere with what we're doing. I'm just gonna stick it into the well here. And I'm going to go ahead and replace the trim piece that we took off. There are pins I'm trying to line up here. Last but not least, we're going to put this piece back in. Easiest way to do it is to bend it and make sure the clips line up. There we go. And then we just replace our trim. There we go. And the driver's side is done. That's good. Let's go ahead and get the passenger side done. Okay, so before we do this side, we got to get the LED strip in. Okay, so I have the light strip here. I have already applied the double-sided tape to it. Be careful what side you apply it to, because it has an opaque part of the strip, which is on the front end of the strip, and you want to make sure that's the part that's facing outward towards you. So you want to make sure you get the double-sided tape on the correct side of the strip when you put it in. So I've already applied it to the strip already. I've measured it out kind of like where I want it. Now here's where I'm going to differ from probably a lot of you guys. And the reason is if you look up underneath here, I already have an LED strip that's underneath this Alcantara dash that's already sitting there. which works quite well. You can check out my other video to see how I put that in and it actually bounces to the music and all of that. It's really nice. So that's one of the reasons I'm really looking forward to this strip going in. So this one's going to be a solid color while my other LED strip can go to the music and all of that. So because I already have that strip there, which is where you could probably put it, I'm going to put it right below there, right on top of the metal piece here. And that's where I'm going to put it. And so I'm going to start peeling my double-sided tape off and start applying it. All right, if you've watched my other video where I did this on the Model Y, as I told you there, and it's true here, take your time with this, line it up properly, and you'll be greatly rewarded. Don't try to just rip this thing off and go for it. And I use the trim tool to help guide it and to help put it down, press it down into place. All right, there we go. That puppy's in there. Wow. Okay. She's coming together. All we gotta do is tighten her up and we'll be done with this. All right, so here's a little trick that I've learned when I installed this last LED strip. This wire right here, here's how we're gonna hide it. I'm actually gonna take my trim tool, and if you look very carefully, there's a little crease in between this little shelf here and the wall. And believe it or not, you can actually push the wire in between that shelf and the pillar. If you're real careful about it, you can actually push it in there and it will hide the wire. And you're gonna go down. We're gonna go down. See how there's a little gap there? Okay, so here's where our wire came out. We were up here. The wire comes out down here. And like I said, these other wires I've already had in here from a previous install, so don't worry about them. And all we're gonna do is we're gonna just take our box with all our wires and we're just gonna wind up stuffing it back here, and the trim is gonna hide all of these wires. And I'm gonna take my electrical tape and start wrapping up all these wires, make it all nice and neat, and then throw the trim back on. That's all there is to it. All right, so all we're gonna do is start installing our trim back, and we're gonna push things down into the clips, the ones that were really hard to get off earlier. All the clips are falling back into place just fine. And lastly, we just need to put this trim inside here. It goes in like this. Remember, we bend this. And, it's gonna go in there just like that. Boom. And we replace our trim. There we go. Snug as a bug in the rug. And just like that, that's it, folks. I mean, we got it in there. There was a little bit of nerve-wracking working with the wires. Truth be told, I mean, if you've never done this before, I can see where you'd be quite intimidated in crimping those wires. But trust me, it's actually a lot easier than it looks. And you can actually do this. Like I said, I'm not a mechanic, so if I can do it, trust me, you can do it. And these blind spot detector lights are absolutely worth it because I have them in my Model Y, and I've installed these things a couple times before. They're actually easier in the Model Y, truth be told. But they look great and they're extremely useful when you're riding down the road. And so the only thing left for us to do, well, let's go for a drive. So let's get to it.
Okay, we had the BSD light strip installed into the Cybertruck, and now, well, we're getting ready to go for a test drive in it to see how it works. Now, first impression, just looking at the strip, I gotta tell you, it's a little on the bright side. I mean, we've had problems with that on the first BSD light strips that we installed in the Model Y, where the lights were really bright. These do dim a little bit with the accent lights, and that's how you control them, both with the color and with the brightness of the strip. It's controlled through the accent lights on the screen. I gotta tell you, the way that we have them installed in here, it's bright. So I may think about moving the strips and moving them to a different position just to help cut down on the brightness of them. And that may be the way that it was meant to be installed. And by the way, when you do change the temperature on the screen, as the temperature of the AC goes up and down, the light strip does change colors as it goes up and down as well. So it's a nice little neat feature that you can check out. So let's go ahead and take a drive. So a few features of the blind spot detection LED light strip that's in the Cybertruck. First of all, it actually acts as an accent light right off the bat. So whatever color that you set as your accent light, that's what color the strip will be. Now, once you get on the road, the very first thing you're going to notice is that when you turn on your signal to turn left or right, the strip will blink or flash green on the side that you have your turn signal on. However, if there's a car in your blind spot, if you turn the signal on, it's actually going to turn red and flash red. So that lets you know there's a car in your blind spot. And that's really useful in a Cybertruck because we really rely on our cameras in here. Because mirrors, well, they're okay if you have all of them. This will become especially important if you've taken the option to remove the mirrors on your Cybertruck. So I would highly recommend this in place of that. Now, when a car comes up alongside you, the strip on the side where the car is located, the strip will turn amber on the outside, and that lets you know that there's somebody in your blind spot, even though you don't have your turn signal on. So what you don't want to do is change lanes at that very moment. Also, what you have is a flashing red light right behind the steering wheel. This will come on when you start to exceed the speed limit. And the only difference between that and the other red strip that comes on in front of you, there's one that comes on and it has two black segments in it, so it segments the light into 3 different segments. That lets you know that the vehicle is preconditioning for supercharging. So if I were to plug in a supercharger into the navigation system, the vehicle will go into preconditioning mode and you will get a red light with 2 black bars in the middle. What it does also integrate with is the warning system for the door when you open it. So when you open your door, if there's no car coming, the strip will turn green. If there's a car there, it will turn red, letting you know that something's coming and it's unsafe to open the door. So you really want to kind of pay attention to that. So if there's a guy on a bicycle and you open your door and it turns red, you don't want to trip up the guy on the bicycle. So that's about it for all of the features on the blind spot detection lighting system. It actually works really, really well. Like I said, it is a little bright. So we'll try to work on that and try to dim it down just a little bit. If they could send us a box to calibrate it a little bit better, that would be even better for us. But it's very visible. It's very useful. Highly recommend it. Don't forget to check out my other videos where we've installed this in the Model Y as well. And it's also available for the Model 3 Highland. Look in the description below to see how you can get a great discount on this particular product. Like and subscribe. I'll talk to you again soon.